Hey, what's going on, Atlanta Hawks fans, man? Stopping in right quick to give you my quick thoughts on a video I saw on YouTube. It's called Road Trippin. Former NBA players Kendrick Perkins, Richard Jefferson, and Channing Frye. They gave their thoughts on Trey Young's future in Atlanta, and it's still kind of up in the air a little bit, but I think the next couple of months are going to be very, very important um, to what happens with Trey Young and Atlanta Hawks. He's been out with a knee injury, and I just think, sometimes, change is good. But before I give my full thoughts, I want y'all to check out this video right quick.
I've been a fan of Trey Young, right?
Huge
I mean, you
fan.
look at his numbers; they're there. People could call them empty stats. You know, you hear a lot of rumors, you hear a lot of whispers. To me, I see a guy that took this team a few years ago to the Eastern Conference Finals. Probably was knocking at the door of actually going to the NBA Finals if he don't turn his ankle, right? Like they had Milwaukee on the brinks. Like once they got to the finals, it was some real smoke. Trey Young turned his ankle, so like he's proven that he's playoff ready. Like we ice cold Trey, the legendary shit he did in the Garden and that. But now it's to the point where if you're Atlanta and you're Trey, you're like, is it time for us to part ways? Right? Because I'm gonna tell you something. This motherfucker Jalen Johnson,
Hey, problem.
he's a damn problem. I thought it was just athleticism. No. He is a hooper. And doing it all across. He almost had a quadruple double the other night. So should they trade Trey Young? I think it is time for both to part ways. I think Trey does need a fresh start. I think it's both sides. Like it's time to part ways. It's not a knock on Trey. I think Trey would be more. I think he would be better. They are far apart from what the reports say, far as the contract extension. So I believe, Alec, correct me if I'm right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I go to you for this type of information. I think this is his last year on this deal.
It is, yeah.
So
They don't want him to hit free agency for nothing, though.
What?
That would be bad.
There's what are you
but
going to get back?
they're far apart, Shannon.
Right.
So they're not, it ain't like, oh, we're coming. And they might have a deadline for this. So what I'm saying is, if you're Trey, you're looking and you're saying, do I still, you know what I'm saying, do I still want to be here?
Now you can unpack this clip in many shapes and forms as you please. But what Kendrick Perkins said kind of resonated with me because I've been actually saying that for God knows how long about Trey Young and his future in Atlanta. And when you look at the dynamic of everything, he's up for a supermax deal that's $200-something million, damn near $300 million for Trey Young. And don't get me wrong, he deserves every dime. He's put up the numbers. He's an all-star. Everything you need is there. But at the same time, when you have a rising young superstar, and like Channing Frye said, you got to just think about would Trey be willing to take a backseat to Jalen Johnson? That's the only problem. And I don't think he will because he's been here. He's the veteran leader. He's really been the Hawks franchise. Like they said, he's made it to an Eastern Conference final. So like I said, the accolades are there for that deal. But you got to look at also what the Hawks have brought in. Porzingis, even though that injury is, nagging me right now, he can still be a force in the playoffs. You look at Zachary Richard, who they drafted number 1 overall. He's still growing and developing. He's only, 19, 20 years old. So the young talent is there. And Trey Young is the veteran, and I think, he could be the one to help these guys reach their potential. They brought in NAW. They brought in Dyson Daniels last year, one of the best defenders in the NBA. Should have won Defensive Player of the Year. So when you look at the dynamic of the whole team, everything is there for Trey Young. But at the same time, if you feel like Jalen Johnson is your future and he's that superstar that you can depend on, and we still got to worry about the injuries. Don't get me wrong, still got to worry about the injuries. Could he stay healthy enough to carry this team? And that's the only thing that's holding it back. Because you look at a talent, a combo, versatile type guy, he has Luka Doncic type skills for a big man when it comes to passing. He has the scoring prowess of a Jason Tatum / Carmelo Anthony when it comes to scoring. He's only going to get better as he learns to create his shots a little bit more. Because right now he's averaging about 22 points, about damn near 10 rebounds and 6 assists right now. So he's only going to gradually get better. And look at last year before he had that season-ending injury. He was on his way to being an all-star, hands down. So you see the potential is there. But can he stay healthy? And will Trey Young take a back seat? Those are the biggest questions that the Atlanta Hawks have. And the GM that they have right now, to me, he's done the best job I've seen a Hawks GM do in a very long time. Anzi Saleh. And he's one of those GMs that's not scared to take a gamble. And will he take a gamble by trading Trey Young instead of paying him that supermax deal, bring a veteran point guard in? That's yet to be seen because it can happen. What if you can get into a trade situation, bring in maybe a veteran point guard, a bridge guy, and you can add, a couple of first-round picks or second-round picks or both. Just add, a lot of compensation that come behind that and build on that, just like the vision that you have and keep growing that vision. That just only makes sense. Because, look, we love our players, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And if Trey is the difference between you, you probably building a championship caliber roster, you got to make those tough decisions. And look, don't get me wrong. Love Trey Young, love what he brings. But if Trey Young doesn't want to be here and you losing for nothing next offseason, we back to the drawing board again of trying to find another point guard. So, look, this is something that I've been, discussing for a while. Is Jalen Johnson the next Atlanta Hawks superstar? Can him and Trey Young coexist? Y'all know what to do, man. Drop those comments. Tell me what y'all think in the comment box. Y'all know how we doing on Sports Machine. This your boy, Antoine Smith. I'm signing off, man. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.